Extracted the HVTs from some village name probably doesn't matter anymore. Ardenshire. And then the guy from what's his face's name?
Levi's.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, the the guy from Levi, the big bulky guy. I wrote his name down somewhere, but Talon.
Alan.
Took the HVTs and basically told us that hey, there's another job, courier thing. Pick up something in like the Eastern Warehouse District of Ghent and deliver it to Redlin. We'd get paid 5,000 gold cash on delivery.
Indeed. He also killed some bandits.
Yeah, we killed some bandits. They were rather inconsequential though. Oh, and they gave us a bag of holding,
Mm-hmm.
which was nice of them.
And horses. They left you with the horses.
Ah, yes, and horses.
Well, that would be about it. There's nothing really missed. Um, yeah, so it's mid-morning in Ardenshire. You guys are just outside of town. And after your guys' actually be closer to midday because of the digging. But after after a while, after you get all the corpses buried, the you do see the villagers start trickling back towards the village. Little groups of 10 and 20. They look at you kind of warily. They can see you through the woods digging.
Well, I tell them we don't want disease to set in, so we're burying the bodies out in the woods so that they don't have to worry about it themselves.
Miasma is bad for the lungs and the soul.
Yep, and the older gentleman that Marin interacted with inside the barn kind of comes over, breaking off from one of the group to stand and talk to you guys.
Probably cover his ears because I'm digging this mass grave with the cannon.
Yeah, and he starts hollering, "Where did you guys come from?"
I don't want any rum, thank you.
Now, what was
Jack.
that city we were in?
Olderfall.
Yeah, well, Holderfall then is what I tell them, while leading them away from the sound of the excavations.
Well, we thought we were done for. I can't thank you guys enough. Though we have nothing to offer unless you want a cow or a pig, but you don't seem the sort that would want the extra baggage.
No, I don't think we would want that. However, if there's a just someplace warm and dry we could spend a night or two here before we head on our way, I'd appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. There's extra rooms in the manor. We don't use them often, but he doesn't mind house guests. And he gestures to a sort of nobler looking person. He's got nicer clothes, but not by much.
Oh, well, then I'm sure that will be fine. And when socially appropriate, I approach the person he indicated in charge of the manor and introduce myself.
Oh, I have my list open. Yes, I'm Lord Brennard, Steward of Ardenshire. How may I help you?
Well, we were hoping that we could spend a day or two in town, rest up a bit before we continue on our way. Just a few minor things we'd like to take care of with our personal effects that the time would be spent on.
Well, I'd only ask if you keep to yourselves in the manor. It's quite enough in there. Just most of the villagers are still spooked. Not many have seen combat nor death in such gruesome manner.
I have no intention of causing a fuss. I would simply just like a somewhat warm place and try to spend a night or two.
Yeah, we're just moving on through.
Yes, come with me. Then he, starts leading you through town. You go back up, the road where the combat was, and to the north there's the manor, and inside the manor there's a couple of nicer rooms. It looks like it could have been an inn at one point, and it was repurposed into a manor, like it was a way station or something,
Mm-hmm.
and then built up around it and turned into a home.
Well, then I just kind of nod, like, Bob, this will do nicely.
Oh, that's wonderful. I do have some things to attend to, so I'll be on my way.
Of course, don't let me hold you.
If you need me, you can find Jaren in the house somewhere. He'll get in touch with me.
Of course.
All right. Well, town kind of goes back to normal. You guys are all hanging out up in the manor.
Yeah. Sorry, what was that lord's name? I didn't catch it.
Oh, he's Lord is more of a arbitrary title here. He doesn't seem to be like he's a lordship or anything like that. Like not the way that he was interacting and acting with the town itself. He just seems like a wealthier villager.
Right, more of a like a local burgher than a actual heretical noble.
Yeah. Yeah, and you'd be aware from, especially from your travels and you guys all being alive in this world, that nobility doesn't have the same weight as the players from fantasy settings would expect. It's all about who has the coin.
Mm-hmm.
A title is one thing, but a coin purse is much more heavy.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Anyway, yeah, let me go delete the rooftop real quick. I got the. You wanted to see the inside of the house since I spent so much time making it.
Oh, you thought we might try like the stealthy, soft approach into there, huh?
I genuinely thought you guys were gonna go stealth at night.
Nah, we just walked in brazen.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it worked.
You gave me a cannon and told me that I can pull aggro for a quarter mile in any direction, and you expect me to be quiet with it.
Oh, I said 500 feet. It's about
You
as loud
know,
as thunder. A little bit louder than thunder. The whatever
I've,
one that can be audible 300 feet.
look, if we're talking thunder, that is several miles.
No. The spell. It specifies the what is it?
Yeah.
Thunderclap or whatever.
Thunder wave, I think, is
Wave.
the
Yeah.
loudest at 300.
Yeah. So yours is a little bit louder at 500.
Shatter doesn't make us that much noise, does it?
I don't think Shatter has it specified it can be heard. Hey, Pi.
Hi.
Yeah, it does not have a range on the noise.
All right, I got it all cleared up. I couldn't grab one of the fucking roots. It's the only thing I had an issue with this program. Sometimes it like the layers are wrong, so you can't grab something. Anyway, I am not going to bother masking because if you guys explore, nobody's really going to stop you. And then also, you would also see him, Brennan or Brennar. Looks like he's getting ready to ride.
Okay.
But you guys are over on the west wing. There's a large common room and several beds to the south. And then
It's
that's storage outside of that, more west.
It's mostly that I'd like to spend like the day here, and then the night, and then we'd leave next morning so that Sleuth can write me a scroll of alarm, because that takes a day,
Ah,
and then I can scribe that into my book, and now we got two people that know alarm.
okay. Also,
more
you
importantly-
guys were talking about getting a wagon or something for writing scrolls on the road. My world is a little more grounded in realism, so you'd actually need to spend a fair amount of money on a decent carriage with suspension and a writing desk in it.
And I think wasn't that 500 gold or something like that?
You'd expect to pay 500 if you had some like okay, another thing. This is not like the modern world. There's not just a used carriage dealership in towns. Like everybody's carriage is being used and they're not just going to sell it. 500 would be as if you went to a carpenter and ordered a carriage made.
That sounds like a plan.
How long
It would also take
would
Is that what you're about to ask?
yeah.
It would also take probably about 3 to 4 months.
Well,
right,
that's something
well,
we can
is-
do once we do the cash on delivery payment, so we'll have a bunch of gold then.
Yeah. Yeah, you can
I-
you can go really custom with the wagon, the carriage designs. I've worked on an entire mechanical system since that question came up, and I don't want the We're just gonna get a cart and write scrolls the entire time we're traveling. I wanted to make it a little bit, but not impossible. A little bit more realistic and less we can write scrolls anytime. You know what I mean?
We are expecting to be out of town for a while. Is there a carpenter in the city we came from?
Polar Falls is a population of 100,000. Yes. Polar Falls is one of the larger cities in the world.
So, I can put some money down for that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys have enough money to order a wagon if you want to wait around, but
No, we're gonna be out of town for a while making this delivery. That's the time we might as well let the carpenter get started early.
well, we'll tell you, between Colderfall and Genth is 2,000 miles of road. It is. I actually went and looked at my map and did all the distance calculations and everything because I wasn't exact with you under. It's about a month of travel to get there, and then it's about a month and a half of travel to Redland.
And then a month back to Colder Fall, I assume, ish.
Yeah, about there. It's a little
So
bit
we would be
closer.
getting back to Colt. So if it takes 3 months to build a carriage, it'd be about, that round trip. That doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah, or you could look around and see if somebody's selling one.
But yeah, if you've got the funds for it, Sleuth, then because I don't, I spent all my money on scribing components. By the way, do you need me to front you the scribing components for the alarm spell?
No, I've got enough left for that.
Okay,
You bought that poor man's shop empty.
I did, yes. But it means that I only have like 200 gold worth of coin on me.
Yeah, I can just buy the carriage then.
Okay. Well, yeah, like I said, I got a couple hundred gold I can pitch in. It doesn't have to all be your stuff.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Otherwise, I'm going to end up spending it all on scribing components.
I'd spend most of my money on it anyways.
Yeah.
Um,
And as for party knowledge, Alaric is from Ghent. He would be familiar with the city. So he would know once you get there, there is a lot.
Wait, I thought you said Calderfall was the big city.
Calderfall is a big city. Ghent is the big city. Ghent is the largest city in the world.
Right, but okay. Yeah, I understand now.
In terms of like buying scribe components and stuff like that,
Right.
Ghent would be the place to go to do that.
Right, but first we
there's
want to go
half a
back up
dozen.
to Calderfall to place the carriage order.
See if you can get a carriage made up there.
So I guess we're spending a day in town then.
Mhm.
I mean, me and Sleuth are dealing with the scroll stuff. Jack, Mayor, and Faye, what are you guys gonna do?
That's a good question.
You were a bit soft there. What did you say?
I said that's a good question.
The hell is that sprite?
you can always commit petty crimes around the village.
Yes, after you murdered a bunch of people and were asked to stay inside the manor. That would go well.
Well, what are they gonna do? Force us out?
Possibly.
We didn't.
They couldn't handle those
murder
bandits
them.
that we easily handled. So that realization when the people saving you from the bandits are just higher level bandits themselves.
That's the look you guys were getting.
It's fine.
Jack's handing everybody that can stand up a drink.
Well, there's nobody in the manor with you. Everybody's out in the village moving animals around right now. Looks like they're moving herds between different fields and cleaning up bandit mess.
Other than that one house, we didn't really make much of a mess.
Yes, but the bandits did. They broke doors and stuff.
Yeah, the
So
only
they're-
mess we left for them to clean up would be a little bit of tomato soup in the streets. Like, we looted the bandits and buried the bodies.
Well, that one house that we took the Eastern Patrol in, we kind of took him inside the house and made a little bit of a mess.
Yeah, tomato soup.
There is blood in the streets.
It'll wash off with the next rain.
But yeah, from where you guys currently are, it would be about a 2-day ride up to Calderfall. And then from there, it would be. There's a couple of different ways you can get to Ghent. There is the western path, which is a little bit more barren, isolated, but still a main road. There's not a lot of way stations and stuff on it. There's the southern path through the mountain foothills, which goes, kind of weaves in between all the mountains, but that's more of a direct route. It's a little bit shorter. And then the last would be the King's Highway. That would be it's an old ceremonial route for nobles back a couple hundred years ago. It cuts through the Valley of the Gods, and that one has the most like big cities on it.
My suggestion would be we first just ride the 2 days north to Calderfall, place our carriage order, and then we should just take the most direct route to Ghent.
That would be south through the mountains.
I mean, sounds good to me.
Yeah, I got
Like,
no
like
problem with
you
that.
know, if people avoid it because of like bandits and stuff or highwaymen, we're a little bit more well equipped than your average
That would
mercantile.
actually be the Western Road, Liberation Road. That would be the one that's more bandity. The southern path through the mountains is just it's unknown. It's not like it's dangerous or it's just nobody really travels it.
Yeah, that's good. That's fine. So
Yeah.
we go that way because the faster we get to Ghent and deliver this package, the faster we get paid,
Mm-hmm.
and the faster we can find like a decent ruin or something to go loot.
Yeah. So the mountain foothills is it's the most direct route. It's due south, weaves through the Coldamore mountain range, and they're not jagged death peaks. It's more like you're going through valleys and uneven terrain. There's some villages here and there.
So less Rockies, more Appalachia.
Yeah.
I've been through both in the last 2 months, and the Appalachians are a lot more manageable.
Yep.
Yeah. To the west, closer to Redland is the Green Mountains, and that's the more rocky peak, sharp mountains. But that would be 8.5 weeks of travel. The western route would be 9.5 weeks of travel, and then the King's Highway, the eastern route, would be 10 weeks of travel. And that's once you get to Colder Falls. I can go into more detail if you have more questions.
Do we have sufficient supplies to last us the 8.5 week journey from Colder Falls to Ghent?
I don't know. What do you have?
Well, I have a barrel of water.
Well,
And
I have 20 days.
and 50 rations.
Yeah, I have 20 days worth of rations.
Did you include the rations that came on the horse under?
I
Has
don't
anybody
know
really
if we have
inspected their
enough
horse?
booze.
I mean, I did, and no, I was not including the 10 days on the horse.
Yeah, 'cause I also
Really,
forgot to
8
mention-
days left because I have no other rations, so I would have eaten 2 days worth of those.
I did forget to mention those horses have military saddles.
We don't have enough booze.
Right, so I'm thinking we go, we spend the night here in town. We do the scroll work. They said they had animals. So and there's a big smokehouse. Let's see if they got any, rationy type stuff ready to go. We can, buy some rations here. It should help get them back on their feet. Give them a nice cash infusion.
Yeah. Who do you go looking for? You just go over to the smokehouse?
Well, I
Okay, I suppose you're writing, so you dictate.
yeah, I
Delegate.
would have asked one of the less, I don't know who's not Jack, because he'd end up buying like 50 days worth of booze instead of 50 days worth of food. They're close enough
Fortunately,
together.
This is not a grain
sounding.
town, so there isn't 50 days worth of booze here.
Do
You
they
can
even
ask
have
Bane,
booze?
Alaric.
Oh, I'm
Or
sure
am I
they
digging
have.
into my own reserve.
I mean, I'm sure they have like small scale ale production, just because all medieval towns did. But yeah, if this isn't a grain town, I
Not
wouldn't
Jack's
expect.
scale.
Yeah, not your scale booze. We have to go back to the city for that.
Yeah, like ales, meads, and stuff were fairly common just because they were generally slightly safer than water, but they were also a bit lower in alcohol content than like modern beers.
And the scale of production was like household still type stuff.
Yeah,
we're not talking distillery type things here.
So on our way somewhere, we have to stop by a major.
Yeah, we're going back to the city. It's only 2 days away.
Okay, because Jack's gonna be out of booze, and it's not. That's not
Right.
gonna be-
It's just I figured, while we're here in this village, it's probably a good spot to stock up on like smoked meat for rations.
And I didn't finish building Coder Falls, but this is the general city layout.
Oh, neat.
Yeah,
Ooh,
so there's
Yeah.
a keep against the water, 3 very massive, not built this lifetime bridges, and then to the north is the dock and stuff where all the ships come in from the northern coast.
Ruffles, out of curiosity,
Mm.
between having tinkers and smith tools and being an artificer, can I build guns?
You could because of where you grew up.
Okay.
If somebody from somewhere
Interesting.
else in the world asked that, no.
Would I be able to teach other people how to build guns and like,
Um,
or
it
at
would
least
take a long time.
or at least enough that they would have an idea of mechanically how a gun works and they could figure it out like within a couple years from then?
Yeah.
Okay. Because
Are you thinking about guerrilla defense teaching? Are you gonna start a class in the village?
I wasn't gonna say it, and it's not gonna be in the village.
Well, like I said, the biggest downside to that is you're an artificer, so you can just magically produce ammunition. Gunpowder is not readily available, and it's in its infancy in most nations that are studying it, and they're very secretive about their studies. So gunpowder is not readily available in most nations.
Yeah.
So that's the only problem with, yes, you can teach somebody how to make a gun, but a functioning gun, on the other hand, is the other, like, no. They wouldn't have gunpowder, so a gun wouldn't be very effective. It would be, about as good as a club.
Yeah. It's more a thing of like, if we do want to end up like mass producing weapons, being able to sell a gun at a premium even without ammo might
Oh yeah,
be.
like nobles love, like, that's like a mantelpiece kind of thing. Think really pretty, like, dueling pistol.
Yeah, like we could
Like
get
that's a sought after art market. Is
if we
Valoran
can
pistols.
yeah, if we can make like a pair of dueling pistols and sell that to high nobility or even royalty if they're really nice pistols, that'd be a very nice little cash bonus if we need it later. But good luck finding ammo outside of connections of nobility.
Oh, even nobility in most parts of the world don't have connections to get ammo.
That's a them problem though.
How
Yeah,
long
but
is a week in your
Hide-
world?
7 days. I didn't do anything goofy. My months are 31 to 33 days, and my year is 380 something days long.
Right, and there's 6
2
of
moons.
us. Well, no, I was figuring out. So, for an 8.5 week journey, 7 days, 6 of us, we need about 360 rations.
Mhm.
Which is about 36 gold pieces worth.
Well, that's simple. Now the only problem is finding that much.
Oh wait, no,
And I,
they're 5 silver, not a gold. They're 5 silver. So
still I can cover that.
be 180 gold.
So, yeah, I've got that.
Yeah.
Even after buying the carriage.
Here's the
Oh,
the actual calendar under. I did put it on the wiki.
Ooh.
Yeah, so the current date is, if I can remember, Gold Leaf, 5. So it's a Friday. Or Moonlands if you want to talk in world.
Seems like a very floral naming scheme for the days of the week.
Yeah, this was made by a committee who really didn't want to make a calendar, so it's kind of got everything that everybody else on the committee hated worked into it. It's the premise of if nobody's happy, everybody's going to agree with it.
Is it intentional that there's a replica of the month of rainfall?
Did I fuck up? I did. Ah, good catch. Must have been when I was copying and pasting it over. Yeah, that's a different month. Let me pull up my actual fantasy calendar.
I don't think it's going to be that important, like
Yeah, that
2/3
just
of the year
changes
from
like
now, but
a day. It changes one day somewhere because I think that's a 31 and a 32 day month. Those two. Good catch. Because yeah, I didn't notice that.
I had assumed not by it making its way onto the final product. But hey, if everyone hated this and decided to make everybody else suffer for it, having 2 months with the same name is a good way to do that. Oh, what's today? Oh, it's the second ember glow of rainfall. Which rainfall?
We had first rainfall, but what about second rainfall?
And then you create some holiday that shifts depending on some like astrological event. And as a result, some years it's in the first rainfall and some years it's in the second one.
There is actually the Twin Moons Festival when both moons are full. Like basically the entire world takes a break and throws a big party. So you guys will run into that throughout the years. It happens once or twice a year. But it's just whenever
Uh,
both moons are full.
the left moon, I'm assuming light blue is full. Is the right moon the solid? What are the two colors? Is that blue and green?
It's white. The blue is the phase. The green is really hard to see the phase. The dark blue is no moon.
Okay, so
So
the
it's white and green are the full moons. Solid white and solid green.
yeah, the white on the left moon just looks a little bit blue on my screen, but that's probably just because of the settings I've fucked around with.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a whitish blue on the left moon. That's the full phase. The green color of the other one. But yeah, it's the pearl moon and the emerald moon.
Ooh, question.
Mm-hmm.
If both full moons is like a day that the entire world takes off to celebrate, is
It's a
both
week.
new moons like a horrific omen that things are going to go terribly wrong in the near future?
No, because one of the moons has such a longer phase. There's a lot more of those where both moons are dark. There's
Hmm.
one moon that's what the calendar's based around. It has more of a 30-day kind of Earth moon standard orbit. The other one is more of like Halley's Comet, but smaller. It's got a really long elliptical orbit.
Hmm.
So when it's out of phase, it's a lot more often that it's dark than visible.
Okay.
If I remember how I fucking set it up correctly, but that's what I intended.
And it was white and green are full moons, right?
Yes. So the
Looks
next,
like
yeah, the second week in Duskwind.
Duskwind 7th and 8th. Yeah, like
Yeah.
7th through 10th.
Well, they would celebrate from the 4th through the 10th. If that makes like whatever
Yeah.
week the two full moons happen at the same time, that's the week that the Twin Moons Festival happens.
What if it starts on like Moonlace and ends on Primrose and it's on 2 different weeks? Are they both celebrations?
Depends.
Depends on how much they need the economy to get back to work.
More or less. But most of the time, yeah, it's usually just the week that the both moons are full at the same time, the start point of that. So if both moons are full on a Friday, then they would celebrate the entire week before that Friday, up to that Friday. Because the point is, the festival is taking place when both moons become full.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at it.
I
I've
I
got
think
Mist Wind, Ice Wind. Oh, I'm missing the 12th month, Frost Wind.
I think I'm done derailing the party's travels with my fascination with a double lunar calendar. We'll see in like 20 minutes.
Right. So you have 180 gold to spare then, Alaric?
Yes.
Or Marin?
Oh, I do too. Just in case.
We have been paid handsomely.
Okay, I guess not everyone immediately blew their money like I did.
I only blew some of my money.
Gotcha. Well,
Well,
yeah.
I guess.
Jack
Love.
played way too much for cheap booze and is very upset about it.
So yeah, why doesn't then since Marin and I are kind of ensconced in the manor taking care of the scroll, Alaric, can you go and see if you can get like 360 rations worth of smoked meat?
I've got money to throw at that.
He said he did too. That way we can actually, not starve on the way to Ghent.
The first logistical loophole. I'm gonna give you guys some rations. It's not enough for your entire party, but you'll figure it out.
It's enough for someone. To
It's
get
enough
there.
for me to get there.
That's basically it. Was that bag of holding was like a just a to-go bag for one person. He wasn't handing out 8 of them.
What we really need to do is to find and press King like a druid to come along, with Goodberry.
I mean, I'll take a ranger. I can teach a ranger how to fire a gun decently well. And they'll be very reliant on me for ammo. We might need a ranger.
So, Alaric, can you do that?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, you were already at the smoke shop with Alar,
Signs
so
paid
yeah, if
for.
you want to head that way. Well, I mean, you can head that way.
All right, yeah.
So you start heading.
Jack, while the party's not looking, can you give me some wine? Or whiskey? I'm not that picky.
Now you come up to this big long building. It's you got smoke coming out of half of it now.
This is normal smoke, not like it's on fire, right?
Oh yeah, this
just making
this smells sweet of good wood.
Excellent. It'd be very awkward if the smokehouse was on fire.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll go in and arrange for the appropriate amount of rations, all the meat,
Yeah. So you go to the east side. There's double doors. Do you just go in? Do you knock?
Yeah. No, well, I'll knock first. I'm not just gonna barge in. I'll come in and be like, hey, whoever's managing the desk, building, whatever.
Yeah, it looks like a tanner's workshop almost, but it's not quite. It looks like a cross between a tanner's workshop and a butcher's workshop.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's leather working, and then there's also meat processing on one side.
Right.
And yeah, you don't see or hear anybody through the windows.
Hello? Anybody here?
Hiya, hiya. Your voice that sounds very far away.
All right, so I'll just wait. I'm assuming that they're a little busy.
Yep, and after a few moments, see somebody, an older, grizzly-looking man come through some doors to the west. Looks like he came from the smoking area.
All right. Hey, just need to place an order for how many rations do we need again?
360 rations for 180 gold at market prices.
Oh yeah.
Who are you
Yeah.
talking to, Sonny?
Talking to you. I need to make an order for, I give him the appropriate amount, like I need this amount of rations for this trip. I doubt it's as even as just saying I need 360 rations. Like, no, I need like this amount of meat.
300. No, he would understand what a ration
Okay.
is.
Okay, yeah.
It's a sustainable quantity of food for one meal.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, I need that amount of rations. We're making a bit of a trip here, so
We need 72,000 calories.
Don't make me do it. I will convert my entire ration system over to calories. 300.
uh-huh. Big party, long trip.
That's a whole month's worth for me. But you'd save me the trip to the city. I'll catch hell from the wife because she likes her alone time.
Yeah,
I
but I do
think she's
have a lot
sleeping
of
with the
shiny
butcher.
coin.
Well, I'll tell you what. You helped us out, and you're saving me the time and the trouble. I'll give it to you for 150.
Deal.
All right.
I
Well,
put 15 platinum pieces on the desk, on the table right in front of us.
and he looks at him. And goes, well, I'll have to go to the market anyway. I'll have to go to the city anyway. And he picks him up grudgingly, like he doesn't want platinum. He's like, oh, great. He's used to be paid in copper pieces.
Yeah, we're still in a village. Copper is going to be like the go-to. Silver is like the equivalent of platinum in a regular city. Like
Yeah,
silver
well,
is a
Yeah,
fair
but we
bit
would
of
need like a
money.
cart worth of like copper to pile this.
yeah. What we
Yeah, I mean, we're
they go on meth and like steal the copper out of everybody's walls here?
Well, now
we're
that you
buying out
mention
this
it, when you
guy's
were in the
stock.
manor, you did see a copper-lined well.
Going to really quickly paint my armor in blue and yellow. Don't mind the Bosnian knight making an appearance.
All right, and he looks at you and he goes, "Well, how do you want it? Bagged
Yeah, bags.
or just delivered?" I usually just load it up in the cart and sell it wholesale in the city. I've never sold it wholesale to adventurers before.
I can understand why that would be a bit of a pickle, but no, I'll take it in bags and we'll take care of it of our own accord.
All right. You guys staying up at the manor?
Uh huh.
Somebody said you guys were still around.
Yeah, we're taking a little bit of a break before we need to move on. So yeah, well, that'll be if you want to put it there. I can get some help to bring it from here, but it doesn't matter to us.
All right. Yeah, I'll have a couple of the boys bring it up to you.
Sounds great. Thank you very much, sir. Pleasure doing business.
Yeah. He picks up the knife and he starts walking back towards the smokehouse.
Yeah, and then I just turn around and be like, job well accomplished. Then I go meet up back with Alar and Faye or Marin. Uh,
Yep, that's the look you got. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Like paying a crackhead with a cashier's check.
no,
Legal
or a
tender.
certified check. I hated certified checks.
Well, yeah,
Neat.
you go back up to the house, and after a while, a couple of the younger men carrying sacks over their shoulders, and
Meanwhile, Marin looks over to Alar while they're busy with the scrolls. You think that much silver's gonna be an inconvenience to these guys? I know they're used to copper, but
oh, he played them in platinum.
yeah, but Marin's got most of her currency in silver because it's small enough to use anywhere, but it's also big enough to fit in her bag of holding. Like gold is useful and all, but silver's like silver's
Silver's paying for bribes.
yeah. It also looks a lot nicer to have a bag of silver because it's 10 times the size for the same value as a bag of gold. So what you do
Yes.
is you have a bag of silver and then you just sprinkle a couple layers of gold on top for the sparkly and good looks.
So what do you do? Also like those cash rolls if it's all tens and you put like 50s on top or 20s.
What? No, it's all ones and you stick 100 on the like top two bills.
Ah,
Yeah, you definitely don't want to use tens.
You know how monetarily inefficient using 20s for the entire stack is? For that same value, I can get 20 stacks of singles.
But anyway,
Yeah, and we'll just split that up between so everyone's got like an equal amount on their horses.
yeah, just in case we lose a horse, we don't lose all the rations.
Right, or if we somehow get separated, the people who get separated aren't stranded with no food.
Well, that too. So how many rations is that between everybody?
Be 60 between everybody.
All right.
I was just going to keep track on a spreadsheet as party rations.
Yeah, all right, that works.
that's how I did it.
Noting that it's 720 pounds of rations, we're eating 6 a day as a party.
Yep. Well, yep, you get your delivery from Orlin. He sent along a bunch of boys to deliver it. And they give you odd looks as they're, setting these giant bags of smoked meat next to your horses, and they don't say anything, but they deliver it all.
Meat. I'm just having a little bit of fun, playing with my cantrips, like casting a light on things and using mage hand, frivolously.
Yeah, they look at you like you're the devil. This is a backwater town. They're not used to magic here.
But as long as it's the rich devil, that's fine. That's what I do.
Other than if nothing else happens, I think we just wait the day in town. The next morning, we head out for Colder Fall.
You guys set a watch over the night?
The silence was me distracting Ruffles with something that came up in my Google feed. I'm only a little bit sorry.
Me
No,
responding.
I'm sorry.
I
You're
would
right,
suggest a
I'm not
watch, yes.
All right, what's your watch order?
Is there anybody that doesn't want to be on watch?
Marin, unlike Anya, is not contractually obligated to put in as little physical effort as possible, so I can take a watch, but I'm not good at it.
Me neither, but I'll take first watch.
All right. Let's see.
Jack will be on a watch. He'll be up anyway, drinking. So
Jack doesn't sleep.
Want to be on a watch? What up, Mickey Mouse?
Jack doesn't sleep, he just puts a little bit of coffee in his next ale.
Well, I'll give Jack fourth watch because he like wakes up, he's slightly hungover, and starts drinking early. Like that way, no one can accuse him of day drinking because the sun's not up yet.
very
Smart
true.
thinking.
That is
It's
the way
not
around.
day drinking if it's nighttime somewhere.
No, it's not really day drinking or night drinking if he just drinks all the time.
Exactly. There's no such thing as day drinking or night drinking to Jack. It's just drinking.
And I would now have the fact that I have alarm known. I would be using alarm around our rooms.
All right.
Audible.
What's the
alarm.
capability of alarm?
20 cubic feet?
Okay. Yeah, that's how big
Push.
that room is with the beds in it. It's 20
Yeah.
foot by 20.
Door, window, or 20-foot cubic area, audible 60 feet, or mental alarm within 1 mile.
Yeah, and I would set it for audible so it wakes everybody up. And it says when you cast a spell, you can designate creatures that won't set off the alarm. So I do set it so that, you know, insects and minor rodents and the like aren't going to set it off. It has to be, you know, in your world are gnomes and dwarves small?
Yeah.
Okay, then I set it
Well,
for like small and
yeah.
larger creatures.
Yeah, gnomes are small. Dwarves are still medium creatures.
Yeah.
They're just stocky.
Yeah, small or larger, you know, humanoid pattern creatures.
Dwarves are on the small side of medium, gnomes and halflings are on the small side of small.
And Alar would also note that it's like, and they're humanoid shaped. That way, just a big snake or something going by the window doesn't set it off. Or a big deer.
Well, a big snake in the window might be a problem.
Right. Well, imagine like a deer walks
for
up to
other
the window to chew on some of the herbs growing in the windowsill, the little grow pot there. I don't want that creature to set it off, so I specify humanoid pattern.
A cow gets out of the pasture and there's some real good flowers in that window.
All of a sudden, you know, the alarm is going off. The party's responding like it's goddamn D-Day.
Well, I do walk around with a basically ye olde M1 Garand artillery piece on my shoulder. So it's not that far off. Oh, now that we have another bag of holding, I also have half of a hydrogen bomb equivalent.
Really curious if you guys are ever going to try that on my world.
Don't say that.
You took the
Did you
damaging
guys-
part out, it just throws everything into the astral sea.
Did you guys
No.
play?
I know, we're
Yeah,
playing
we're playing
now.
right now.
But where did we get back to holding?
Huh?
I have one because I'm an artificer. The party has a second one as part of a job that we're taking on.
We're on a new job.
Well, upon completion of the Ardenshire free the villagers of the bandits mission, you were given another job and also an additional reward of a bag of holding with gear in it.
Was it the same guy?
Yeah.
It was Talon.
Talon went with the party, and as a parting gift, he gave you guys a job and a bag of holding.
And then he fucked off.
Did he?
What's the job?
More
Courier.
money?
We pick a package in Ghent, take it to Redland, we get paid 5,000 gold.
Courier service.
Ah,
It's
Paid
a
on delivery,
extremely
it's not-
large amount of gold for a simple delivery job, so I'm expecting complications.
Well, the road between Ghent and Redland is long, and there are a lot of treacherous spots. That's one of the reasons that he didn't want just any courier or merchant to take it. He doesn't want this package getting lost or fucked with.
Yeah,
And you guys succeeded in impressing him, so
assuming it's more than moderately important for how long we're gonna be and how far this place is. It's not a obscene amount of money, but we're still being paid a premium.
oh yeah, I mean this is equivalent to 10 years wages for a commoner.
looking a
Yeah,
little.
but we're not commoners. We've done more work than how big was this village?
About 200-ish population.
Yeah, we did more combat work than 200 commoners did. By far.
What? Are you
Yep.
playing Haze or are you just popping in?
I just probably I had a sergeant's test today. It was up really early. Was working really late, taking a test. So I'm dead.
No, you're
Gross.
good, you're good.
Imagine
enough.
taking tests.
How do you think you did?
I already got the scores. I did better than I did last year, but
90% and up.
yeah, I got almost 100s on. There's 3 different tests. You got
Nice.
1 question wrong on one, 2 on another, and 3 on another. So, but that doesn't determine where I am on the actual list to get promoted. So it doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah.
Stop
lot of-
getting questions wrong. Just pick the right answers. I don't get it.
Nah, it's just a lot of studying basically for nothing and spending 4 hours taking tests for nothing essentially. So
Oh, well, you got to prove you're a good old company man before they'll promote you.
Yeah.
4
Pretty
hours.
much.
Are you in the police force or high school? What the hell?
4 hours.
He's the smartest husband I've ever had.
What the fuck?
How many husbands have you had?
30.
Shut the fuck up.
Shit, Hayes, I didn't know you were actually smart. I thought you were just good at pretending.
Yeah, he has his master's.
I am relatively intelligent.
Honor rolls.
What?
From a correspondence college.
Let's just get back to your game now.
Uh-huh,
Oh,
uh-huh.
have a good night, Ace.
No worries.
Have fun.
But you guys go down for your rest. Is there a watch order? I don't see one posted.
I did. It's
oh, okay. I was
Alaric
scrolling down,
Marin,
I'm sorry.
then Faye,
Yeah.
then me, then Jack.
Ooh, random question out of curiosity before everyone goes the fuck to sleep. Do we have anyone who's good at picking locks? And or pockets?
The DM points at Jack, giggling.
That's not picking locks or pockets. That's destroying them.
Well, if you beat the person unconscious and you then take stuff out of their pockets, does that count as picking their pocket? There's a certain skill to doing it that way.
That's a different skill set than what I was thinking. It's something to keep in consideration, but that wasn't the answer to my question. Well, there goes that thought. And it's,
You
is
don't
it
have
weird?
well, you do have Slick. He's not here. That's Nathan. That's Jake's brother. He is
Weird not
a
It's weird not having our party's rogue here to typecast himself into being the picklocks, pickpockets guy. Especially now that I can finally give him, I forgot what they're called, the gloves of picking locks and pockets better at level 6. Gloves of thievery. Speaking of typecasting. I mean, if we don't have anyone who's good at picking pockets, don't worry about it. Good night, everyone. I'll keep first watch with Alaric.
And back.
welcome back. We were just settling down for the watch. All right. Well, first watch passes. Looks like the town settled down alongside you guys. It's quiet. Second watch passes. Third watch passes. And then on fourth watch. Jack, what's your passive?
Whiskey.
Mister?
13.
13?
How sober is Jack when he wakes up? On a scale of 1 to 10, is it above a 1?
It's no.
Well, you hear soft footsteps in the hallway outside. And then your door handle jiggles a little bit. And the door slowly opens. And a little kid's creeping in. And the alarm goes off.
Okay.
Unless you did something in those processes to stop the kid from crossing the alarm threshold.
No.
Well, the alarm goes off, the party gets woken up. There stands this little 10-year-old boy, his eyes wide, and he's just frozen.
Hey, you kid. I get curiosity and all. Really into that. I love the enthusiasm. Waking up a bunch of people who are armed to the teeth from out of town is usually not a good idea, though. And then Mayor's gonna start standing up.
Yeah, he's still, like, frozen in place, holding the door handle. Like, just completely locked up.
So, kid, what do you want?
I just wanted to see your stuff. You guys had cool swords. I want to be an adventurer when I grow up. My parents told me I have to be a farmer.
Ooh, yeah, farmer's definitely the better choice.
I
Most of
hand
the
him
time.
some booze. Doesn't put hair on your chest,
Don't,
kid.
don't give
Oh, Jack, no. I'm gonna take the booze and hand him a
He
glass
reaches
of
out
water.
for it and starts grabbing it.
Well,
What
if
is it?
What? I started drinking at his age.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why you're you. Like, Jack, I appreciate you, but oh, by the gods, my guy. Alright, look, kid. Being an adventurer is not a stable life. I don't know when I'm going to be able to settle down, have a spouse, have a family. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. For all I know, this job that I'm going to be taking in the next couple days is going to be my last job that I ever see. Being a farmer isn't exciting, but it's a stable life.
No,
Don't
my
listen to
brother
them.
Was.
If you want to
I've
go
never
kill
heard of
things, go kill things.
I'm just gonna
I've never heard a cool story told about a farmer.
I was
You
gonna
guys are heroes.
I'm just gonna put my entire I'm just gonna put my head on Jack's entire face, like to try and keep him from
How
encouraging
tall is
this kid.
Baron?
I could get big and just do it for you.
Marin is 5'3". So
How
Marin's
how tall
reaching
is
up
Jack?
here.
But 8'5", I think. You know, he's
Marin,
pretty good
I
size.
You
am
can
on my
touch his
tippy toes.
beard if Jack has a beard.
I am on my tippy toes to do this.
Jack does have a beard.
Yeah. You can put a hand on the high side of his chest, and that's about it.
How about an elbow in the liver? That's close enough. Look, there's going to be a time.
Why are you bullying Jack? Do I
Because
not
you're
tell this
encouraging
young
this
man?
kid to do something that's horribly irresponsible, and he's got a whole life ahead of him.
He should enjoy his life. Go
Jack,
out
you and I,
seize the day.
Jack, you and I are professional idiots. We are great at what we do, but what we do is not to make good choices. This kid's got his entire life and a stable future in front of him. That's a good thing for him.
Being a farmer? I don't blame you, kid. Farm work is miserable. You should go see the world.
That might be the smartest thing you've said. You should go see the world, but not as an adventurer. This wouldn't be a job I would pick if I had a better choice. But who I am just doesn't lead to a stable life. Kid, you got good things ahead of you. You're smart enough to know you want. You're smart enough to know that you're not interested in being a farmer, but you're going to be an adventurer. Pick something like alchemist or a court wizard or something. Pick something where you know you'll have a job that'll get you money and you'll stay safe.
I don't listen to her. She don't know what fun is. See the
I
world.
do know what fun is, Jack. I can get you into melee fights even faster than you can, and I have a lot of loud noises to bring more bad guys to us. I also know it's good for the kid. To some extent.
Should teach him how to build a gun.
Jack is bored.
That
He turns and walks off.
See, kid, is that what you want to do?
The kid
Is
has
that
just
what you
been
wanna do to
standing in the
grow up?
doorway, like looking back and forth between you and Jack while you're arguing. Like,
This is
We're
the
not
coolest thing
arguing,
ever.
we're bickering. This is a healthy conversation between members of an adventuring party. Look, kid, I get that you don't want to be a farmer. It's not an exciting life, but don't be an adventurer. You have better things ahead of you. You have better options.
Show him how to.
one
make
day
a
I'm
gun.
gonna be an adventurer. I don't care what you say. I mean, slams the door and storms off. You hear feet stomping to the west.
Oh, great. We're gonna have to deal with another one of those. At least we got like 6 years for that kid to figure out what he wants to do. Anyways, I'm going back to sleep. Good night.
Yep. And the rest of your night goes off without incident. And you wake up in the morning.
Is there a tavern or something similar in the town where I can just buy a barrel of whatever beer they have?
No, there isn't really any general store or gathering place here. It seems like that cluster of tents is their social area.
Is there anywhere that sells alcohol?
No.
Fuck. What kind of village is this? Alright. Well, I'll have to buy Jack a makeup keg of a beer later.
Yeah. So you guys heading outside? Getting ready to get on the road?
Yeah.
On
Head
the
back
road
to
again.
Colderfall?
Yeah.
Well, it looks like somebody brushed your horses.
Yeah,
Hmm.
self-brushing.
But there doesn't appear to be any culprits near around. Horses look like they're saddled and ready to go, and all your gear is there.
I will leave like 5 silver just on the door to whatever stall the horses were kept in, just for whoever
They were
actually comes in.
tied up to the gatehouse or the gate posts in front of the manor. Looks like somebody came there early in the morning and brushed them. There
Alright,
wasn't. They
I'll
weren't stabled.
I'll leave 5 silver on the gate post then, just for whoever comes to check on all the animals to find when they come next.
All right. But yeah, you guys start heading south out of town. The village looks like it's still kind of in repair mode. But they don't seem too put off by you. Yeah, you start getting on the road. Other than some wolves, nothing interesting happens on your way back to Colder Falls. And yeah, you guys get there. If you set out in the morning, you'd be getting there in the evening. The southern gate is ahead of you.
Yeah, perfect timing.
You can see it beyond the town outside of the wall.
Hey, yeah. Jack, if I give you 10 gold for tonight to go drink, will you not kill anybody? Actually, make it 15 if you don't add to or subtract from the population of the city. This is not here, is he?
I'm here. What up?
He's bribing
For
you.
for 15 gold, can
Uh,
you get drunk without adding to or subtracting from the population of the city?
yes. I
Great.
think. Well, here's hoping.
I'll give you 10 now, and I'll give the bartender another 5. Go get drunk off of the 10 gold. That's probably
Right.
more than enough. And the ale might not be great, but it's alcohol. That's a lot of alcohol. Alright, so what does everyone else have to do here? I've got to put the order in for the carriage.
I think that was it.
I've already got a
That's it,
bunch of
boo.
self-scribing words.
Let's go.
I did not get enough coffee today. I need to get coffee. We have spell stuff for a bit. So we just need the carriage and then we're on our merry way.
All right. Yeah, so there is the I didn't think you guys come back here. I was re-pulling up my Calderfall dot map. Yeah, so you guys get there in the evening. You've got the Golden Lantern, that's where you guys that stayed in the nicer inn stayed. The Copper Quill is on the other side of town. It's a nicer inn as well. And then there is the Hot Vulture. That's in the like on the west side of, or the east side of town, away from the river. It's a little bit quieter part of town, but not not upper class. And then there is the Leaky Tankard, and that is on the south side of town. That is the less reputable inn
That is
that
perfect.
some of you stayed in.
The Leaky Tankard is perfect. I will give the bartender 10 gold for Jack's drinks for the night.
Oh, there's
Whatever.
no tavern here.
Oh, fuck.
It's just an inn.
Alright, whatever tavern is dodgy enough for Jack. Whichever tavern Jack ends up getting drunk at. 10 gold just for alcohol, then another 5 gold for him if he doesn't kill anyone or bet anyone.
Yeah.
And
Well, you're familiar with the Broken Dagger. That's south outside the gates.
that
And
that
then
sounds
if you're-
perfect.
All right.
And then 30 silver for the barkeep for his services rendered. In a much more usable currency in most situations here than gold is.
All right. So are you all staying at the Leaky Tankard?
Jack is.
Yeah, I'll stay with him just in case he gets uppity.
Sure.
All right. Well, it's late. You're probably going to want to get rooms. Looks like the town is mostly quiet and shut down for the evening. Unless you want to ask around about a cart or carriage.
Yeah,
Well, I thought he spent the day placing that order for the carriage.
No,
spent the
he
day-
got here in late evening, and then he started talking about buying booze for Jack, and
Gotcha.
I didn't get to finish the. It's really close to bedtime. There's nothing open.
I'm keeping the troublesome child out of trouble before he gets into trouble. And then I'm dealing with business. If that starts a day late, we're going to be out for a couple months anyways.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll if after the bar tab is taken care of, there's still time, I'll put in the order for the carriage.
Oh, it's late. Like I'm letting you know, there is nowhere you can go to find the information to, even find a carpenter. Nobody is awake. You can ask the barkeep, but he's gonna tell you, yeah, you're gonna have to go there tomorrow, somewhere in the north side of town. And I don't know if there's any carpenters that specialize in carriages, but you might find carriages up there because that's, the industrial park area.
All right. Well, I'll give him another 10 gold for the information because that's actually helpful. And then head over to, which one was the inn? Was that the Leaky Tankard?
Yeah, the Leaky Tankard.
Broken Dagger's beer. Leaky Tankard is bed.
I love this naming scheme. It's intentionally backwards just to fuck with people.
It's back ass words.
But yeah, you guys go down for the night. Nothing of note happens. Jack, do you want to do anything while you're drinking, or you're just drinking and behaving because the party asked you to?
Yeah, Jack's just drinking and behaving, unless somebody starts something. If nobody starts something, well, we're fine.
Nope, they're giving you an unusually wide berth.
Wonder
It
why.
might be because you banged your head on the ceiling bars a couple of times, but you know, the ceiling is only 8 foot in here. You've smacked your head on the ceiling beams a couple of times.
Ah,
You stand out, and they notice. Nobody is going to start anything with you in here. But yeah, the night passes, the morning comes. What do you guys do?
We'll find a carpenter to place the carriage order and then head out.
Yep. And just because our job doesn't tend to be safe, I'm gonna make sure the carpenter knows that anyone in the party should be able to pick it up in my absence.
Yeah. Give me an investigation check once you get to the north side of town to see if you can find somebody.
Investigation.
I can help him with this.
Ah, wonderful, because I'm not actually proficient with this.
Well, I mean, you guys are going as a party, so you could delegate if you wanted to. You're just looking for information about carts, wagons, carriages, the likes.
Oh
We have
my.
a second person who's proficient with this to help Alar.
Do what?
Who else is proficient in investigation? No one. Okay.
All right.
So what's your what's your Never mind.
Oh, my mod is +4.
Yeah. It's all good.
I figured generally the advantage is better than proficiency at our level.
Barely.
Yeah. Once we hit the next proficiency bump, it gets real iffy. Ooh, wait. Is this something I can use guidance for?
Yeah.
Is it too late to do that?
No, you can add guidance to it.
It would help if I actually... Wow. I put
17
that in the
Ds.
wrong spot.
17 Ds. They're all D1s. He failed. So close.
I am a mess today. Alright, 19. And I need to go find some actual coffee, apparently. First I missed the plus key, then I missed the spot, then I missed the R. I am just on a fucking roll fucking this up.
Yeah, we all have days like that.
Except for me, I have days where I'm not like that.
All right. Yeah, you find a carpenter. He kind of looks you guys up and down. Well, I could build a carriage for riding, but wouldn't be for 6 months. A couple other orders I'm working on. If you need a carriage that bad, you should go talk to Balin up at the North Gatehouse. I think he's got an old one that he won't part with, but maybe you can convince him.
Galen North Gatehouse. Alright. I'm sorry, I missed the first part of that. Did he say he couldn't do it, or that it would be a while
It would
before
take
he
him
could?
longer. Yeah, it would take him longer than what you guys were expecting, because he has other things he's working on.
Huh.
Everybody else turned you down cold.
Uh-huh.
This is the only guy
Well,
that talked to you.
and this isn't exactly a urgent thing, but guess it wouldn't hurt to check out Galen's cart. See if he's willing to sell and what condition it's in. How long is your current backlog if Galen's cart turns out to be in a bit of disrepair?
For fixing up a cart or a carriage.
Well, some parts are a little more important than others, namely the suspension.
Well, the suspension, you'd want to talk to a blacksmith. I don't do metalwork, and I just get the parts from them. And he kind of just gestures to, a different block of down the road where you can hear hammers and, see
Yeah.
generic blacksmith quarters.
And if there's other carpentry related stuff that needs to get touched up, would you be able to get that done within, say, a month or two, or would that be a project that would have to be put on hold for the next 2 or 3 months?
I couldn't tell you. I'd have to see the carriage. Yeah. I'll get it right one of these times.
Fair enough. Alright, well, sounds like we're off to the North Gate to see Galen, and if he's still unwilling to part with it, something to put on the backlog. Any objections? Yay, nay? Speak now, forever hold your
go.
peace. Alright,
No,
off
I'm
to the
good.
North Gatehouse.
Yeah. And up there in the west side, you can see a large stable house, a couple of horses in it, and an old half elf. Looks like he's cleaning the stalls out and just going about his day of work.
Old as in like 60 or pushing a century?
Like 60, 70, old human. Gray
Alright.
hair, wispy beard.
That's like barely getting to middle age for a half elf. They tend to live at least natural lives to 160 to 200. Anyways, I'll go up and ask if Galen's in.
Balin with a B. Balin.
Bay.
I'm in.
Balin.
Jackie's in.
Or if he is Balin, perhaps.
Aye, that's me. What do you want?
I understand you have a carriage. We happen to be looking to buy one. Would you be willing to sell it, or are you currently using it?
Give me a persuasion check. He kind of stands with his arms crossed.
That is something I should be on my computer for, not upstairs getting coffee. Persuasion from the artificer. stats, persuasion. Where's my Discord? That would probably help to have up. A 3.
He looks you up, up and down. I'll sell it to anybody but adventurers. But tell you what, 1,000 gold and it's yours. Get it out of my hair and get you out of my hair too.
I was under the impression that you weren't trying to get rid of this. But sounds like it's just kind of eating up space here.
You don't see a carriage in the stable.
Now that's somewhere that he has access to. Look, I'm not in any real hurry to get this carriage. If it takes a couple months, whatever, I'm going to be out on the road anyways. And at that point, I can get a carpenter to build me one for half the price, if that. How's 650 sound?
Give me another persuasion check.
I keep rolling. Eventually, I'll pick a number that's higher than a 12. Not like that, though.
Oh, I mean, you're halfway there. You got the 1.
I both halves because my previous roll was the 2. Which means, together, that's an entire 5.
Well, would be nice to get it out of my hair. Lowest I'll go is 850. I've got it right in desk. Decent suspension. Wizardy folk will love it. He looks at Alara and Alaric.
What's the condition? Can I see the carriage first?
Ah, sure, come on. And he, kind of waves an arm and turns and starts walking out a back door of the stable.
All right, no problem. Just before the first few steps, I'll ask Ayler, do we have a couple hundred gold we can toss this guy's way? I don't have quite that much anymore. Not
Yeah, I
at
got
all,
200.
All right, good enough. It'll eat all my money, but it'll be enough to cover 850.
Yeah, so you guys start following him. About 5-minute walk. You go to the south side of the North District, and there's a block of houses with kind of think like an apartment building. Block of houses and a block of smaller storage buildings opposite of them. And he goes and he opens one of them, and the doors swing open, and inside there's a pretty modest carriage. It looks like it was well maintained and cared for and in good shape. No rusty springs or anything. And he grabs the tackle block and he kind of drags it out so that you can see it in the light. It looks like it's black with red wood trimming it.
40. So being proficient with tinker's tools, smith tools, and woodcarver's tools, How good of a condition, like 1 to 10, is this? Is this gonna
Um,
need some touch-up work, or is it going to need a complete overhaul to?
on a scale of 1 to 100, it's a 95. It's in really good shape. The wheels are nice. The suspension looks like it's well maintained. The only thing that's odd is that a stable hand has, or stable owner has this nice riding wagon.
All right. Ooh. What's your deal? Why do you have something this nice and well maintained if you're just a stable hand? As much as I admire the profession and everything it does for society, it doesn't pay that well.
Well, sat in my stable for a year. A wizard fucker who had it never came back. Pretty sure he died. Don't care. So, needed the space in the stable. Wasn't using the space at home. Stuck it here.
Well, that explains everything I'm morally obligated to give a flying fuck about. So, yeah, I will get the, was it 200 gold from?
Yeah, 20 platinum.
Yeah, 20 platinum. Is this is big enough to say that breaking platinum into more convenient
Yeah, you could have
currencies
did that at anywhere along the way from the south to the north.
All right.
Yeah, there's even a central bank here that you could have easily gone in and just changed currency.
Yeah. All right. I would have had that in my bag of holding. So, is there a more convenient place for a lot of silver and a bit of gold? Because I understand platinum's only convenient for people who need to carry a lot of money with them.
Are you asking Balin?
Yeah. I'm basically saying I want to turn out my bag of holding full of money, and I need somewhere like his closet where he wants to keep the money.
Well, what I was saying is you could have, knowing that you're going to be making a large purchase, have easily gone and exchanged it all for platinum pieces. There's a central
Oh,
bank here,
okay.
so yeah, you could have easily exchanged all of your gold and silver for platinum on your way here, knowing that you were making a purchase.
Oh, well, that was easy. All right.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, then I'll just hand him the money. I figure, honestly, I figured most people would prefer like gold and silver because platinum's just kind of too big of a coin for most purchases.
Nah, in this large of a city, no, platinum is used quite often. Remember, this is a large trading post.
Yeah.
They actually
I
have
guess.
change.
Yeah. They can easily, like, you can pay this guy platinum and he'll just go, make it into whatever currency he wants, and he won't complain and gripe like a small village in the middle of the woods would. Yeah, so you pay him the 85 platinum pieces.
Yeah.
Yep. And he's like,
So,
all right, take it, get out of here.
will do.
Yep. It looks like this particular carriage requires 4 horses to pull it effectively. Pulling it with 2 horses wouldn't be enough. It's a little too heavy. It looks like it's got about 500 pounds of extra space suspension in the rear storage compartment, so it can hold 500.
500 pounds of just stuff, and then the party on top of that, or just 500 pounds of party and stuff?
No, that's 500 pounds outside of the like part of the passenger compartment. There's an
Okay.
additional amount of there's an additional give to the rear suspension beyond what you'd expect it for holding 4 people. This carriage holds 4 people. There is a desk mounted sort of like where you'd have to take one seat out to make the desk usable. So if somebody wants to write a scroll, your carriage can only seat 3 people then, if that makes sense.
one person writing and 2 extra seats. But it does look like it has a similar design on the other side. But there's no desk. So you could upgrade it to have 2 people writing scrolls side by side. But then it would only seat 2.
That seemed like it wouldn't be a terribly expensive project, but it might be a long one. Given proficiency with carpentry, how difficult would that be?
Based on what you're looking at for how the other drawing desk is designed, you figure any carpenter could make those parts and pieces in under a week.
That's something that I could do on the road, or?
No, you'd need a workshop to make some of the fittings and stuff like that.
Okay. Well,
Well, let's leave it for now. I don't think there's going to be more than one of us scribing scrolls at a time.
yeah.
This early on,
And
at least.
I am just about out of scribing components anyways. Anything you want to copy down would have to come out of your resources.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
Speaking of which, did I give you the level 4 or 5 version? Does my list of spells have 2nd level spells?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, with that, I have to go to the bathroom, so I'll be back in a couple minutes.
Yep. And the only other thing of note is you guys have draft horses which are capable of pulling it, but this wagon requires 4 of them to pull it.
So we got to buy a couple more horses.
Yep. If you wanted to use the writing, you would need to buy. Actually, no, because one person would be driving it. So yeah, right now you guys have exactly enough horses if somebody wanted to write. But if you built the other desk, you'd have to buy 1 more horse.
Okay. Well, we can worry about that in the future then.
But yeah, this is my mechanical change to the game. I made carriages and wagons that aren't just a multiplier stat block. I hate that mechanic because we proved with Gilbert's campaign that that's just broken. I don't have the full list typed up. This is the only one that I've actually worked out fully.
That's fine. We got a place where we can write now on the road. That's the important bit.
Yep. That's why I made this one. Balin, the half-elf who hates adventurers. But he does help you guys hook your horses up to it and everything like that, and just he's grumbling the whole time. But then yeah, you guys would want to go south through the mountains, so you'd go out the south gate then.
Yep.
I have returned.
Yep.
Welcome back.
Yeah, we're on the road again.
Yep.
In our nifty new carriage, and I'd be asking if you wouldn't mind scribing a scroll of invisibility. I'll supply the components for it.
Sure. I'll take a couple days.
Yeah, I'll take 3 days.
We got nothing but time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And it's about 2 weeks of travel to the mountains before it actually gets into the paths and valleys, but it's just quiet, forested. No major issues or anything like that for those 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Alter self isn't a wizard scroll, is it? Or spell.
I believe it is.
I believe it is. Yeah, I think that's just a. That's not a specialty spell.
No, it is sorcerer and wizard. No, it's not a bard spell. That's what I was thinking of. So just on the off chance we do go near water, that might be another useful one to have if we're sitting on scroll components that you don't know what to do with. Or, change appearance to commit petty crimes and make money doing that.
Yeah, I don't have
Like,
enough for another level 2 spell. I only had 325 gold worth of components.
The bane of every mage, our budget.
Yes. For now.
For now.
When we become fabulously wealthy, it will be less of an issue.
And there will be an emphasis on fabulous.
Of course. But no, I have disguise self, which should be enough if my appearance causes us issues.
Your appearance, no. You look fine. You look wonderful even.
Thank you.
But we can't look wonderful like ourselves if we're going to be committing crimes.
Yes.
We need to look like other, more peasanty people.
Yeah, we'll need to pick someone that you don't like, and then I'll look like them, and then do a crime, and yeah.
Oh, don't worry. If it's people I don't like, we will not be hurting for choices.
Yeah, I just don't spend a lot of time in cities, so.
Our man.
Yeah, your guys' world experience, you know you guys are not, notorious? Notorious? Yeah. The world is vast. There's millions of people in it.
That's like at least 3.
I lost my notes.
Oh no.
What the fuck?
What did you do to your notes?
I don't know.
Take them out back to tell them to think of the rabbits?
I'm gonna hug him and pet him and name him George.
Well, it's all right. See, the problem is his parents took his notes upstate to the farm. where it's running wild and free in the fields.
Okay. Sorry. I found one of them, but not the one I was looking for. These are in my unsorted section. So I have to scroll through a whole bunch to find out the stuff that I have prepped for different areas of the world. I really thought you guys would go east. I guessed wrong again.
Rookie mistake, having expectations for the party.
All right, but yeah, after 2 weeks of travel, you guys start getting into the mountains. You haven't seen another person in over a week and a half. It's just been you, the open road, and silence of nature.
Nice. I'm sorry. How many weeks? 2?
2 weeks total have traveled. It's morning, and you guys are upon the road. Hang on, I'm seeing if I have them in my master notes. And as you guys crest a particularly gentle hill, you hear the sound of combat up ahead. And the scene before you looks like it's traveled through the area that you're currently making pace through. Trees broken and bent at odd angles, patches of grass burnt and scorched.
Hmm.
Do you continue towards the sounds of combat?
With my expert deductions, I believe there is a fight somewhere nearby.
Hmm.
That's not a yes.
Well, better check it out. I'm talking to the party. I better check it out, see if there's any profit to be made from it.
Oh, there's always profit to be made. Sometimes we can even get paid twice for the same job.
All right. Yeah, you continue ahead. Sound of combat grows louder. It exactly, it doesn't sound like swords clashing on swords, but there is coherent yelling, the occasional roar. And then you come upon a clearing, and ahead you see 5 individuals. Looks like a couple of different races. And they're forming a semicircle around a creature. Looks kind of like a wyvern, a small dragon. But its form is flickering in and out of existence, and the jagged edges of its body shifts as if reality is struggling to contain it. And the creature appears to be injured. And its injuries don't look normal.
I'm gonna cast just without because I can do it without any material components or any components whatsoever. Detect thoughts and see what everybody's thinking.
What's the range on that? 30 feet or 60?
Yeah, 30.
30. Yeah, you're not close enough yet. You're probably about 60 feet out. None of them have noticed you yet. Their backs are to you. They're
they
wholly focused on the creature.
Well, we
It
probably
seems to be
dismounts
a
at our
standoff.
yeah. Well, we probably dismounts at our horses and like don't end up in the line of fire and walk over. And when I'm within 30 feet, detect thoughts.
Um,
I'll go up with the squishy wizard.
Oh yeah, I'm taking Jack with me too.
Hey!
You just have him on a leash.
Hey! Jack starts yelling to him. Hey!
one of them turns and
What you got there?
1 second. I'm
Smoothie, isn't it?
Hmm?
It's a smoothie, isn't it?
Well, this is definitely no ostrich.
Well, obviously, it's a smoothie, not an ostrich.
Yep. So your surface reads of their thoughts when Jack starts yelling is the
Who the hell is this guy?
yeah. There's a lot of that, but there's one. There's a human. His thoughts are they don't look like guards, but if they interfere, we'll have to stop them. Then there's a half-elf female, and hers are thinking about the wyvern, and she's like trying to battle strategy. She's focused on fighting the thing. And then there is a dwarf, and he doesn't like the look of Jack. Looks like trouble. And then there's another dark-skinned male, and he's just scared.
All right, 2 questions. One, detect thoughts would let me know if there's anybody invisible, because I'd be detecting their mind.
Nope.
Within 30 feet. Okay. Second, is there any thoughts coming from the wyvern?
I actually don't know.
Ouch, oof, ouch, my bones.
Well, it's more like if it has a sapient level of intelligence, I would imagine it has thoughts. I do know Draconic, so in theory, if it thinks in Draconic, I'd be able to understand it.
Yes, true. And as the wyvern comes in range, you would get like not so much words, but sensations that you can understand. If that makes sense. Like it doesn't have a language.
Yeah, I understand. What is it saying?
It's scared and wants to go home. Like this is not its home.
Yeah. Okay. So I, just kind of 30 feet away, reasonable talking distance. Well, this is something you don't see every day. What's going on, guys?
The human male looks over at the other 4. If it moves, kill it. The creature seems to be like not incapacitated, but it is like it's taking a pause. And he turns and kind of walks back slowly towards you guys, and you best keep your distance. Let's, we call them Chaos Wyverns. They come from the Rifts. They don't come too often. It's only the second one I've ever seen in my lifetime.
That looks like fun. Jack wants to play.
Jack's a bit touched up here. And, I'll tap my head.
Jack is not stupid. I mean, Jack just pretends to be stupid.
Well, we didn't say he was stupid. We said he was crazy.
Oh, well, yeah. That I'm not gonna argue with.
Yep. But yeah, he's basically he says the wyvern is just a symptom. It's not the cause. We're just cleaning up the mess before things get worse.
And what's the cause of chaos wyverns?
So you would know from your studies and traveling around the world that in certain parts of the world there are unstable rifts that things come through. And they're not predictable, and they're also very inconsistent time-wise. So, some places like here, it's every couple years there's a rift and something comes through, and this particular region, who you're looking at, you'd recognize their iconography on their armor are the Coldamore Rangers. They're a very old faction that's been around for a very long time, that they're pretty much the keepers of these hills. And the cause is kind of unknown. It's just a tear in reality, and something comes out, and then the tear disappears, and the thing stays.
Okay. And these
But yeah, he's
guys,
basically asking
you said they're
guys to-
wearing the iconography of these rangers. Are they acting in their minds? Are they also... Are these people pretending to be these rangers, or are these actually the rangers?
Yeah, as far as you can tell, their surface thoughts, yeah, they're actually rangers.
Okay, so
There's
they're not
nothing
concerned with like that.
untoward
We'll
about
discuss. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're not worried about you discovering some secret identity. That has not crossed any of their minds. If anything, the guy talking to you seems annoyed that you're here. People don't come down this road very often.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he's basically saying, keep your distance, stay back.
Sure. We're not exactly slouches in martial arenas. Did you need any assistance?
This is no fight like you're going to want to fight. These creatures don't move like you'd expect. They don't attack like you'd expect. We're not even sure what they are.
Okay. Well, it was nice meeting you.
Yeah. And he turns to go back, and everybody should roll initiative because the wyvern starts charging.
Hey, I finally rolled above an 8.
Huh, a 4.
Oh, I've given my
On
first to
initiative.
the rest of the party.
On initiative, you get a crit. Oh, that was like me fighting the fucking Taraz. I fucking I have elven accuracy. I rolled like 3 19s.
Don't worry. That just means I'll let everyone down incredibly fast. Now I need to find out what numbers I need. 'Cause the ballista does not like loading in correctly. Alright.
All right, 1 second. I gotta get the Coldemort stat blocks.
Yay. More stat block.
Yeah, I'm just doing 2 rolls, one for Kale and one for the other 4. That's Kale, the guy you're talking to. You just put him as DM1. That's fine. And that's the other 4. And that's the Wyvern.
I'll be right back.
Holy crap. My dog is actually eating the new food.
How long has this food been new?
I've been doing the when you switch dog foods, you gotta mix the old dog food with the new dog food. She just
Yeah, for
switched
like a
off of
month.
yeah, she just switched off of that. She's been eating the new food, and she hasn't been touching the fucking bowl all week. So I have like canned food that I mixed in with it, but she was picking around it. She ate the new food with her old food mixed in, like she ate both. But this stuff, when it was by itself, she was just like not touching it. I was really worried. I just heard her bowl dangling and jingling. I was like, oh, sweet, she's actually eating.
Sure, you got a dog and not a cat?
She is a fucking cat. The husky.
Dude, my cat's
Oh,
a fucking
Lord.
dog.
Huskies are amazing, but oh boy.
They are so stupid sometimes.
All right, so this is a large size creature. And it is about 40 feet from you guys. And it lunges forward and starts attacking the Rangers.
I have returned.
Welcome back.
Is it the Jack's turn to get the smashing? No?
No, we were chit-chatting. I got distracted by my dog. And now the Wyvern is attacking. Oh, I'm tired.
I gave the DM the stupid, I'm winning.
It has 3 attacks?
It only has 3 attacks.
Yeah, it slashes 3 of those guys down.
You think?
They all look like they were injured too. So there is 1 ranger up and 2. Oh, I forgot the fucking special thing. I forgot to do this first. So yeah, at the start of his turn, the air around it starts to shimmer. It looks like a very complex version of Blur for all of the casters in the party.
So it definitely looks to be magical in origin.
Yes, it looks like it's coming from the Wyvern that's causing it.
Okay.
And then it charges forward and starts slashing through the Rangers. All right, Marin, it's your turn.
I'll just ask the Rangers. You sure you don't want us to help, or is this turning into a problem? Is this guy bothering you?
Well, if you're so confident, kill the fucking thing. That's the single dwarf that's still alive on the front line.
All right.
Jack will have words, little man.
I am going to use, where is the Protector Eldritch Cannon. I'll walk up to within 10 feet of the dwarf.
Okay.
And I will use that as a bonus action. And takes my action to activate it, so he gets 8 plus 4. He gets 9 temporary hit points.
All right. He looks a
Which
little
is-
better off now.
It's gonna have to tide him over until reinforcements come in, and that's my turn.
All right. Well, this guy takes a swing at him. He misses. So this guy turns around, charges at the Wyvern, takes a swing at him. All right, those both hit. And he cuts into it. It is fully effective. His sword doesn't look to be magical. I forgot which version this was. There's 2. All right. That's all for the DM playing with themselves. Jack, your turn.
It's the Jack. Jack wants to hit Wyvern.
All right.
Jack
Run up into
raises
melee.
The silver glaive. This is a weapon Jack got from the great warrior Lockjaw. Now you will face his wrath. And he attacks.
All right. Make your attack.
It would be suck if I can't even hit. Oh shit! I fucked up. I didn't hit though. It was supposed to be a +6, but I missed. So.
All right.
Ain't that some bitch ass shit?
I think there's just something with the dice against you rolling them.
I never hit.
Every time you have to make an attack roll, you miss, it seems like.
There's a little loading screen tooltip in Steam game called Stovall, which is basically legally distinct Warhammer Fantasy that says the dice in this game are mathematically fair. They're also possessed by a demon and evil, but they are fair. I think that applies pretty well to a lot of the stuff we do here.
Yeah.
All right, is that all you're doing, Jack? Missing in glorious fashion.
Yeah, that's all Jack can do.
Check a multi-class?
Yes.
Oof.
He always does this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that'd be sent. Alaric's turn.
Woo.
All right. Yeah, well, 30 feet away is this melee with this Chaos Wyvern.
Yes. Let's see here. I think it might be a bad idea for Fireball. So
Aren't you an evoker? Oh, you're a sorcerer. Who's the evoker that I'm thinking of? Either way, my bad.
You even have one in this campaign?
I don't think so.
Not me. Don't look at me.
Well,
So,
of course we shouldn't look at you. Why would you ever willingly avoid friendly fire? That shit's funny.
So if not Fireball,
I think I'll go with Mini Fireball. Firebolt.
Firebolt. All right. Where are you? Are you moving up closer, or are you staying beyond
hell
30
no.
feet?
I'm staying beyond 30 feet.
All right. Attack roll at disadvantage. The shimmer the wyverns produced seems to have an effect on your spell.
Rightio.
Yeah, as the firebolt enters the shimmer, it actually kind of like veers off, like a refraction, like you're looking through a lens.
Or water. Yeah, I was like, God, well, All right, well, that's my turn.
All right, Faye. Are you still dodging, or are you back? All right, Faye dodges. Alar.
Range to the wyvern.
It's about 30 feet from you. It charged up into melee with the guys you were talking to.
Well, I'm gonna back up. Does it have wings?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I'm gonna back up 20 feet and use my wings to fly up 10 feet.
All right.
And then I'm going to cast Magic Missile on this guy.
All right. Well, they strike unerringly.
Okay. That is a total of 11 points of force damage.
They appear to have had no effect on it.
Okay. That is all.
All right. Well, it turns on the dwarf and continues cutting into it. Although I actually have to roll his health because, or roll for damage because the other three were throwaways. I didn't expect them all to die in one turn. Sorry.
Rookie mistake, really.
I figured he'd miss one of them. All right, so that's against him. That hits. Okay, doesn't matter. He dies. And the other two, he goes at the other ranger that's still up.
Get the fuck out of him. I'm right there.
Yeah, and that takes a really good chunk out of the leader. He looks like he's badly bloodied now. And Dorf is dead. Leader's fighting back. Oh, I didn't include the. I was just looking at my other rolls. That takes another chunk out of the Wyvern. Alaric. Oh, I forgot to roll the fucking. Da-da-da-da-da. Looks like the start of the Wyvern's turn, it healed a little bit. And then Anish, Jack. Marin, I forgot Marin.
Can I get within 10 feet of the ranger that's still up?
Yes.
Wonderful. I would like to shoot the wyvern.
All right. Make your attack roll.
Numbers. Does a nat 20 hit?
That is indeed a crit.
13 magical piercing damage. And was it a d6? I think I rolled d8 plus my intelligence. And 8 temp HP to everyone except for the wyvern within 10 feet of me.
All right. Yep, that would be Jack and the leader.
Yeah, it should be enough to keep somebody alive, maybe. And that's my turn.
All right. Then the veteran makes his attack. Jack, your turn.
Jack's turn.
Jack's turn.
Jack's gonna try to hit again.
All right. Make your attack. That misses.
Jack sucks.
All right. Alaric. The shimmer around the melee is gone.
Oh, excellent. We shall do another firebolt.
All right. Make your attack. This time, normal roll.
Ba-doo.
That hits.
Huzzah. "13 fire damage."
All right. Yeah, it hit. Doesn't look like it was particularly effective, but it did do damage.
Fair enough.
All right. Faye, are you back, Pi?
Yep.
All right. The party is helping some rangers fight a strange, shimmering, dragon-looking thing.
Oh,
You're
cool.
about 30 feet away from it.
Cool. Let's get into melee with it. And start
Alright.
slapping the shit out of it.
Yep. And it's been 2 weeks since you, so if you had any negative modifiers or anything like that, those are more and gone. So you've had plenty of long rests since you've last fought.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and hit it twice.
All right. Give me some smacks. Uh, 12 misses. The 25 does hit.
Did I take that? No, okay. 25. Mhm. Yeah, Giant's Might and Invoke Fire Rune.
All right. All right. And then whatever that is, just the 3d6's fire?
The 3d6 is the Giant and the Fire Rune.
Okay, so what's the fire and what's the giant?
2d6 of that is fire.
Okay, so the 2 and the 4?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Strength
Alar.
save. Oh,
strength save?
sorry. Yeah, it's gotta make
I
a
did-
strength save or be restrained for 1 minute.
All right.
Yeah, it passes.
All right. Is that it for you?
Yep.
All right. Alar.
Well, I'm going to cast another magic missile, this time switching out for cold damage.
Smart choice, considering you watched Force do nothing to it. Yep, they strike unerringly.
For 10 points of cold damage.
Yep, those look like they were fully effective against it.
Excellent. That is all.
All right. The start of his
I mean,
turn, I'll actually remember to do the thing.
I made a lucky choice with the Eldritch Cannon because my choices were force damage, fire damage, or temp HP. Immune, resistant, or healing.
For this particular creature, yes. All right. Yeah, it blinks out of existence for a moment, and then teleports 60 feet in. Back and away from the party. And it roars, unfurls its wings and flaps, and starts charging back towards you guys, getting back into melee. It doesn't look like it did that on its own accord. And it's gonna start slashing at Jack. Actually, no, there's 3 people. Everybody gets an attack. So Jack, Faye, you guys are both in melee.
Yep.
Mister,
Yeah.
it ran back up into melee with you after it randomly teleported away. And it smacks the Ranger, Faye, and Jack. Does a 12 hit Jack?
No.
All right.
That one it wouldn't hit anyways.
I know, I wanted to see if he was paying attention.
I was paying attention. Keep going.
No, you're all good. All right, that is. Oh, he's not looking good. That was the Ranger. And then Pie.
Yeah.
Take a little bit of slashing damage.
Yes, 3.
I'm sorry, piercing. Piercing, that was a bite. The claw is slashing.
Non-magical, right?
Non-magical. He's got really sharp teeth.
Okay.
All right, Marin.
All right. Friendlies within 10 feet of me. I want to spread this to as many people as I can. Including the Ranger, get 10 temp HP. Then, how beat up is the Ranger?
He looks like he's hanging on. One more hit would take him out.
I'm gonna go ahead and bonk him on the forehead with a Cure Wounds
All right.
for 11 health.
So you healed everybody in the party for 10? That was
Yes,
within
then
range? And then 11 to the Ranger? Okay.
an extra 11. Yep.
All right.
The 11's actual healing, not just temp HP, and that's gonna be my turn.
All right. Well, this guy cuts in, continuing to hack and slash.
And drop that meat.
And he misses both. And that's back to Jack.
Jack attack!
Hit this motherfucker.
I am trying.
That hits.
Finally, Jack hits. Ten points of slashing damage.
Yeah, looks like it was fully effective. The Wyvern was already bloodied when you guys started fighting it, but its internals, like basically you're looking at a nebula. Like think of a star nebula inside of an encasement of, rainbow glass scales. That inside starts darkening after Jack hits it.
And is that unique to Jack's hit, or has that been happening every time it's been hit?
Just now. Like, it hasn't happened before. It just happened.
Okay.
Like, it's not like it flashed darker and then went back. It's like it started getting darker on the inside.
Okay.
All right. Jack, are you done?
Yes, Jack done.
All right. Alaric.
Well, I'm gonna choose. You said it moved back 60 feet, so it's a total of 90 feet away from us.
Yeah, but then it flew back into melee.
Oh, then okay, so it's
Yeah. It didn't appear to willingly do that.
Gotcha. All right. Well, either way, it's still within my attack ability, so I'm going to use Chromatic Orb.
All right.
I'm going to choose Cold.
I was gonna say, what kind of spicy meatball? That misses.
Yeah, a very not spicy meatball.
You blow another tree up. There's a lot of blown up trees around here.
It'll get better. There's no druids around, is there? Yeah, it'll be fine.
One of the dead rangers looks like a druid.
Well, I mean, well, oh well.
All right, Faye. You're still in melee with this thing.
Let's smack it again twice. Or try to.
All right. Give me damn hits. Both hits.
All right.
Is any of that fire damage?
4d6.
All right. Could you, when you're rolling that for
You want me
like
to
future,
separate the fire and
separate the damage dices so that if there's any resistances and stuff like that, it's a little easier to tell what's what.
Okay.
So
2, 5, 3, 2.
okay.
And then the 3 and the 6 are the giant whatever. And then I'm an action surge and try and hit twice again.
All right.
No, crit on one.
One hit, but it's a crit. All right. The 46 is the fire.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, that takes a good chunk out of it.
And that's it. All I can do.
All right. Alar.
How's the wyvern looking?
Pretty bad off, but it's kind of hard to tell. It doesn't exactly seem to be bleeding.
Okay. How far am I from it?
You said you went back 10 and up 10? Or
No, back
20 and
20.
up 10?
Yeah.
So yeah, both 50. I mean, that's not that much of an angle, so.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna cast a third level magic missile at it. Cold.
All right.
For 16 points of cold damage.
Yep, they all strike. They all do damage.
Mm-hmm. I'm then gonna back up 20 feet.
Why is that?
Because I can see a Gilbert bomb vest a mile away.
Actually, it's not a Gilbert Bomb vest.
Sure looks
It
like
is a
one.
charge of some kind, but it is not a Gilbert Bomb vest. All right. At the end of your turn, the Wyvern unleashes a disruptive roar. It's like if somebody turned up the bass on dial-up internet.
So it's just a 60 hertz hum.
Well, no, the dial-up connection noise, that the talking back and forth that dial-up does. You know, you pick up the phone.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I was making a joke because you said only the bass is deep and loud.
No, all of those notes, but just deep. That skittery, scattery, brain scattering noise. And I need everybody, except for Alar, because he's the only one that's actually far enough, to make a wisdom save.
Oof.
Wisdom save.
Wisdom save. As it unleashes a disruptive roar.
Rawr.
It is very painful on the ears. Jack and Marin. Mister?
I'm here.
Wisdom save?
Oh,
It's roaring. It's disruptive. And Burger, are you here? Oh no, we lost him. All right. You guys have disadvantage on your next attack and saving throws until the end of your next turn. It is very jarring, this roar.
we have disadvantage.
On attacks and saves until the end of your turn.
Okay.
All right. That was the end of Alar's turn, start of this thing's turn, because that was a legendary action. It teleports again. The exact same spot it teleported before. And it thrashes the ground a little bit, kind of mad, and then unfurls its wings and flaps back up to the party. And on its way, it opens its mouth and starts exhaling a cone of which you could only describe as bright darkness. I need everybody to make a dex save as this thing uses its breath weapon.
Even me, 70 feet away.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Everybody else needs to, though.
And we're at disadvantage. Yay.
Yeah. What are we rolling? Disadvantage at?
Dex save.
X. Fucking hell. You're an ass, but okay.
No, it's a dragon, not a mule.
Oof.
It's not a Gilbert Vom vest. It's a Wyvern Wombo combo. He gets his legendary actions after he is below 100 HP. It's like the panic mode that some barbarians have. All right. That is 1, 2, 3 fails. Burger, are you here? Oh, well, he failed. And now, the damage. Could each of you roll a d6 for me? That's the ranger. Faye, Jack. Roll a d6 for me. This entire stat block is RNG. Mister,
Bye.
can you roll a d6 for me to determine the damage type you take?
Oh God, no.
All right. So everybody takes 30 damage. The ranger is dead. Jack, you take out of this mixy black, misty, weird-looking fog, you take lightning damage. So you take 30 points of lightning damage. Faye, you take
I take how many? 30 points of lightning damage?
30 points of lightning damage from its cone attack. Yeah,
God.
it's breath attack. Faye, you take 30 points of necrotic damage.
Ooh.
And Alaric, you take 30 points of cold damage. That's appropriate.
Oh, irony.
Oh, the irony. And this, I don't think it matters because I don't think any of you would resist this, but this ignores resistance.
Wait, it does?
Yes. It's specific to damage type resistance it ignores.
I ignore. I'm resistant to all damage types.
Not from this
Barbarian.
guy.
So it does straight damage. It overlaps the barbarian resistance. Fuck.
Yes. Its breath weapon ignores damage type resistance. It's a spicy meatball. All right. But that's all it does. It fires its breath weapon and gets back into melee with you guys.
So we had that temp HP, right?
Yeah, so that goes away first,
That's good.
and then your normal HP pool gets hit.
And how much was that temp HP?
I believe it was 10.
Alright, that's very good. I'm extremely bloodied.
Well, so is this thing.
Well,
All right. Burger, are you back? Are you dead? I think Burger's dead. All right. Well, the ranger fell next to you, Jack. It's your turn. Mister,
Huh? What's that?
it's your turn.
Fucking kill this damn thing.
Give me your best shot.
Done.
That hits.
Oh, that hits? Oh, I was gonna get upset.
I was letting you stew in it for a moment. All right. Yeah, you take a little bit more out of it. Alaric.
Well, we're gonna try another chromatic orb.
All right.
And
Give me your best shot.
yeah, we're. Did it have its turn yet, or is that disruptive scream still in place?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, Jack, you should have had disadvantage, but we'll ignore it. I missed it. Yeah, it is.
Ah, crap.
That's the end of your turn that goes away. Well, you still hit.
Huzzah! So this was another chromatic orb of cold, because, well, firebolt ain't doing it.
It does seem to sizzle a little bit and not do a
Yeah,
lot of
just a little bit.
damage.
$14 points of cold damage.
Ooh. It's still up.
Of course it is.
It is hanging on to the threads of reality. Faye, it is your turn.
All right, let's try hit it twice.
Miss. And miss.
All right, that's all I can do.
All right. Alar.
Second level magic missile. Cold.
All right. Fire away.
14 points cold damage.
All right. As your magic missiles strike it, it begins to unravel as if, a child's toy made of thread. And it discorporates, and its scales fall to the ground and shatter. It is dead and gone. All that remains is a pile of, looks like glass, and a couple of scales don't look like they're completely damaged. And a bunch of dead rangers.
Well, waste not, want not, I guess. Let's loot everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We shall take everything.
All right.
We'll give them decent burials. They'll just be naked for them. That's all.
Stinking dragon.
Well, their gear isn't in good shape. Their weapons are serviceable, but their armor is absolutely destroyed.
Well, what do they got?
So
what do you want me to write down for that wyvern shit?
Yeah. So, for the rangers, it's just 5 long swords and 3 shields.
They didn't have any money on them or anything?
Didn't appear so. They didn't have any personal effects either.
No backpacks, no rations?
Nope.
Saddest fucking rangers I ever did see. Not
Well-
a scrap of rope between them.
That could give you information.
Yeah, we'll probably have to look around and see if they got, horses or the like somewhere. What do you want me to write, though, for the,
I am getting that all transferred over right now.
Okay. And are any of the swords or shields magical?
No. They're just standard gear. All right. Of the scales that you find intact, there are 7. The rest of it is like, it looks nothing. It doesn't look any different than like quartz crystal or glass. But the intact scales are transparent or translucent and rainbow colored. So like when you look through, it kind of looks like a prism. But from all the angles, it's not when light hits it a certain way. It's weird. It's weird.
Okay.
All right. And that is where we will call it for the evening.